The show begins as we see two colossal figures fighting each other chaotically. One of them, adorned with an impenetrable armor, is called Conjujar, who was imbued with extraordinary powers through a legendary armlet that was handed down to him from his ancestors. His opponent is a powerful troll called Bular, who wants to acquire the armlet for his selfish desires and gain dominion over the world. After an interminable battle, Conjujar, realizing his wounds are fatal, chooses to take his own life so that the armlet can be passed down to the next chosen one, and the world will be safeguarded. The scene suddenly takes us to two best friends called Toby and Jimbo, who are racing to school with their bicycles, weaving their way through the town. On taking a shortcut, they stumble upon a mysterious armlet lying on the ground, which appears to be calling out to them. Jimbo, intrigued by its allure, decided to take it with him to school to investigate further about it. During classes, Jimbo's attention is diverted by the alluring presence of a beautiful girl in his class, named Clary. His teacher, Mr. Strickler, has taken an intense interest in Jimbo's welfare lately, which has become quite conspicuous, leading Jim to suspect that Mr. Strickler has a crush on his mother, the grieving Barbara, who has been in the state of despair ever since she lost her dear husband. As Jimbo attempts to unravel the mystery of the armlet that evening, he hears a commotion downstairs and assumes it to be the work of raccoons. To his astonishment, he is confronted by two friendly trolls called Blinky and Argomont, who reveals to him that the armlet has chosen him as the next troll hunter, destined to protect the world. Overwhelmed by their sudden appearance, Jimbo faints to the ground. When he wakes up without seeing no trace of them again, he carefully examined the armlet one more time, and as he recited an incarnation inscribed to it, a dazzling light emanates from the armlet, elevating Jimbo up to the air, equipping him into a troll hunter suit. He shares his experience with Toby, who is ecstatic at the news. Soon after, the friendly trolls returns and explains the grave responsibility Jimbo has inherited. Jim was petrified when he learns of the fate of the previous troll hunter, and initially declines the offer of being the protector of the realms. However, his mentor Blinky implored him to face his destined path, and promised him proper training to defend himself. Eager to impress his crush, Jimbo auditioned for a Shakespearean play in which she was involved in. Returning to their respective homes, Jimbo and Toby encountered the menacing troll Bular, who demanded the armlet from Jimbo with threats of violence. They fled for their lives, but soon realized that the armlet had ceased to function, leaving them vulnerable to their pursuer. Blinky and Argomont, who senses their danger, helps them escape by using the Heartstone and transporting them into the peaceful troll world, called the Troll Market. As they wandered around, exploring the beauty of this wonderful world, they were confronted by Drawl, the son of the former troll hunter, who believed himself to be the rightful heir to the troll hunting legacy. Even the troll's elder is hesitant to accept a human as their protector, and thus Jimbo was subjected to a battery of tests to determine his worthiness. Under the tutelage of Blinky, Jimbo learned to never hesitate when presented with an opportunity to vanquish his foes. The troll elder ordered Drawl to spar with Jimbo to test his capabilities, but Drawl harbored secret intentions of eliminating his perceived usurper. Jimbo, lacking any fighting experience, was quickly overpowered by his formidable opponent and became disillusioned with his role as a troll hunter. Nevertheless, he soon realized that the armlet was inextricably bonded to him, and he could never escape from his destiny. At school, Jimbo was tormented by a bully called Steve, but found the courage to stand up to him by vanquishing him with a single punch, renewing his confidence once again. He hastened back to the troll world to demand a rematch with Drawl, who agreed without hesitation. Blinky recounted the tale of Gunmar, the powerful warlord who sought to destroy mankind and the trolls, but was defeated and exiled by the first troll hunter. Meanwhile, a secret meeting at a town museum revealed that Jimbo's teacher, Mr. Strickler, is a changeling troll, who is conspiring with the evil Bular to reconstruct the bridge which would free Bular's malevolent father, Gunmar, from his imprisonment in the Darklands. With an army of goblins at his command, Mr. Strickler set out to find the bridge's missing pieces, leading Jimbo and Toby to the museum to uncover the plot. Jim and Toby finds out that the director of that place is a changeling called Namora, who battled fiercely against them, but were ultimately overpowered and forced to flee for their lives. Back at his house, Jimbo discovered that the armlet allowed him to comprehend and read the troll languages, leading him to learn about the Kill Head Bridge, where Gunmar is imprisoned. Jimbo, with his unwavering determination, returns to the troll world and challenges Drawl to a rematch. Drawl, who had given him a tough fight before, was initially gaining the upper hand once again. But Jimbo managed to outwit him this time, and even rescued Drawl from falling down a pit. This gesture revealed Jimbo's pure intentions of seeking friendship with the troll. From that moment, Drawl started to respect him, and offered his assistance to the troll hunter on his future duties. Jimbo was already aware of Gunmar's malicious plans to construct the Kill Head Bridge that would release the evil warlord. Therefore, he devised a plan to halt their wicked scheme. He noticed a changeling, Numura, who had attacked him at the museum the previous night. The changeling appeared in human form at his house and gave his mother a sleeping drug. She started to strike Jimbo once again, preventing him from thwarting their evil plans. In the nick of time, Drawl suddenly appeared and flung the changeling into the air, providing Jimbo with the opportunity to escape. With his best friend Toby and the friendly trolls, Jimbo headed to the troll market to purchase a gadget that could help them detect any changeling disguised as a human. As Jimbo grew closer to his crush Claire, he offered to babysit her baby brother. However, he soon discovered that the baby had been replaced with a changeling. Seeking a way to overcome his fear, Jimbo asked Drawl for advice, so he could confidently reveal his true feelings to Claire. Drawl gave him a magical necklace that removed all his fear, but Jimbo started to act like a jerk, which he soon realized. Later that evening, Jimbo encountered Bular, but he was utterly outmatched by the ferocious monster. His best friend, Toby, rescued him by pulling him out of the manhole into the sunlight, causing the angry monster to retreat, as trolls are allergic to sunlight. Mr. Strickler and Bular eventually discovered the complete pieces of the killer bridge, and Gunmar was impatiently waiting at the other end. But they soon realized that they couldn't complete the process of freeing him without the troll hunter armlet. Mr. Strickler pays Jimbo a visit, saying that he wanted to have dinner with him and his mother. As Jimbo was fond of Mr. Strickler, he suspected that he had ulterior motives for the visit, and he was right. Mr. Strickler had come to steal the armlet. Excusing himself, he found the armlet where Jimbo had hidden it, and switched it with a fake one. He tried to use the armlet to free Gunmar, but he was frustrated to discover that they could not utilize it without Jimbo's command. Later that evening, Jimbo mustered the courage to reveal his true feelings to Claire, but they were surrounded by a horde of goblins. With no other options, Jimbo revealed his identity as a troll hunter to save themselves. But he soon realized that the armlet in his possession was a fake. Without much choice, Jimbo had to fight the goblins alone. After recalling Blinky's words that the armlet was always bound to its owner, he unconsciously summoned his armlet back to him and transformed into his troll hunter attire, leaving Claire shocked. Jimbo engaged in a battle with Nemura, who led the goblins, but was ultimately defeated. When Jim wakes up, the group united all their strength to destroy the killer bridge. In the process, Drawl lost one of his arms while helping Jimbo retrieve his armlet. They all attempted to make their escape, but Bular blocked Jimbo from the other side. In a resolute decision, Jimbo resolved to confront his adversaries instead of fleeing from them, setting his mind to engage Bular in a fight to the death. After a grueling battle, Jimbo emerged victorious, turning Bular into a statue of stone. Claire, who had previously been frightened by the existence of trolls and magic, found herself unexpectedly transported to the troll world by Jim, who was captivated by the world's beauty. Jimbo, summoned by the past troll hunter, was given valuable advices, and warned of the errors he must never make as a troll hunter. Meanwhile, Mr. Strickler, still incensed by his defeat at the hands of Jimbo, discovered an ancient troll assassin called Anger Rot, who could be commanded using a rare ring. While Jimbo and his comrades were busy researching ways to defeat Gunmar, who still posed a threat to the world despite his imprisonment, they discovered that 3 specific stones infused with Gunmar's blood, known as the Triumvirate stones, could be utilized to vanquish him for good. Claire was left heartbroken when she discovered that her brother had been kidnapped and replaced by a changeling, but was later shown the location of her brother, after the changeling saw the tears in her eyes and assured her of his safety. Upon Mr. Strickler's command, Anger Rot appeared at Jimbo's school, using a stone puppet to attack Jim. Jim, through his fight with the stone monster, discerned its vulnerability, its heart, and swiftly plunged his sword into its chest, which killed it instantly. Subsequently, the heroes embarked on a quest to locate the first Triumvirate stone, journeying through a machine called the Gyre, which transported them to Argentina. There, they encountered a gargantuan and fearsome mountain named Gato, who swallowed Toby and Blinky before they could explain themselves. However, they managed to retrieve the first stone from the monster's stomach and were barely able to make their escape. The heroes continued their mission to obtain the second Triumvirate stone, located deep in a mysterious forest, but were apprehended by Anger Rot, who seized the stone from them. The weight of being a troll hunter proved to be too much for Jimbo, prompting his best friend Toby to become his sidekick, wielding a powerful weapon known as the Warhammer. One day, during school hours, Anger Rot was released. The school was enveloped in a haze of hallucinatory pixels, causing fear and terror to grip the minds of the students. But amidst the chaos, Angerot made his entrance, determined to confront Jim and uncover the truth behind the mystical control that had enslaved Jim's mother. Angerot proposed a deal to Jim, offering to help him free his mother from the binding spell which Mr. Strickler made on his mother, in exchange for the coveted golden ring. Without a moment's hesitation, Jim agreed to the terms, and with the help of Toby, the duo hatched a plan to steal the ring from Mr. Strickler's grasp. The key to their success lies in the Kyrosect, a powerful artifact with the ability to control time. They embarked on a perilous journey to obtain the Kyrosect from the treacherous Breathing Mountain, knowing full well that its power could only be harnessed for a mere 45 minutes. As Jim and his friends found themselves facing seemingly insurmountable obstacles, Jimbo realized that he had no choice but to unleash the Kyrosect's full power. He used its power to save Claire from a life-threatening car accident, and to solve all his friends' problems, and most importantly, retrieving the golden ring from Mr. Strickler's clutches. The ring's power revealed the location of Angerot, and Jim set out to retrieve the second stone from him. However, time was not on their side, and Jim found himself in a race against time. He fought Angerot with every ounce of strength he had, barely managing to escape with the second stone. We later find out that one of the friendly troll called Argomont was infected with a stone disease caused by Angerot's poisonous weapon. With no cure in sight, Argomont's fate was sealed, and he knew that he had only a few days left to live, but decided not to share this tragic fate with his friends. The queen from Argomont tribe pays a visit to the troll market after finding about his sickness. The queen wants to take Argomont back to their kingdom where he can be able to live out his centuries in the salt mines, but the elder of the troll market, Vendel, refuses as he wanted Argomont to make this decision for himself, knowing he doesn't want to live his friends. They both made a deal by organizing a tournament against their tribes, which will be able to determine if Argomont stays at the troll market or not. With Argomont's future on the line, Jim and Drawl volunteers to participate in a really tough game against the Kruberans, but Argomont suddenly shows up at the match to fight his own battle. Whether the game goes on or not, Argomont decided to stay with his friends to ensure Gunmar is ultimately defeated, before he goes with the queen to save himself from the poison. Mr. Strickler later meets with Jimbo in a matter of urgency, asking for forgiveness, and begs Jimbo for protection against Angerot, who is chasing after him for revenge, and in exchange, he will remove the binding spell which he placed on his mother. Being so occupied, he tells his friends to continue the mission without him in finding the third stone, while he deals with Angerot. With the help of Drawl and Mr. Strickler, Jim transforms his house into a fortress with traps to defend against Angerot, but things went in an unexpected manner as his mother shows up at the house instead, who appears to be terrified by the existence of trolls, including Jimbo troll hunting activities he has been hiding from her. Angerot attacks their home unexpectedly. They let him into a trap, but unfortunately, Jimbo's mother, who didn't want to leave her son alone in the fight, mistakenly destroys the trap, and as Angerot attacks again, both Mr. Strickler and Jim's mother was ultimately wounded, but Drawl shows up in time and holds of Angerot, giving Jim the chance to take his mother along with Mr. Strickler to safety. Clarion Toby is holding off Angerot in the school building, while Jimbo meets with the troll elder to remove the binding spell between Mr. Strickler and his mother, but sadly, if the process is done, Jim's mother will lose all her memories permanently. In a gratitude for rescuing his mother, Jim forgives Mr. Strickler and allows him to escape. Before he leaves, he reveals that the third and final Triumbric stone they have been looking for has been in his possession, and handed it over to Jim so he can defeat Gunmar. Immediately Jim gathers all the trolls for battle, as Angerot shows up at the troll market with an army of golems. During the fight, Argomont sacrifices himself to save Toby from Angerot's poisonous weapon, but was turned into stone in the process. Jim takes Angerot's attention away from his friends and the final battle begins. Jim landed a very powerful blow, redirecting Angerot's poisonous blade against him, while Toby and Clary also shows up and finishes him off from behind. With Angerot dead, the former troll hunter appears in front of him, to thank him for his achievement, which many troll hunter in the past could not accomplish. As Jim fuses all the three Triumbric stones together, both his sword and his armor was suddenly upgraded. Immediately, he opens the bridges to enter the Dark Lands alone, so he can challenge Gunmar in a fight, and that was how the Season 1 of the Troll Hunters ended. If this video reaches 20,000 views, I will recap the Season 2 of this show. Thank you for watching, guys. If you love animation movies, please subscribe to this channel and keep watching. Bye.